Top focus, a three-member tribunal delivered a unanimous verdict favouring Tata Motors in its quest for justice. Now, the tribunal has ruled in favour of Tata Motors, granting them a substantial compensation of 766 crore rupees in addition to accrued interest. Now, this compensation stems from Tata Motors' significant investment in the now-defunct Singur plant located in West Bengal. To recall, this saga began with a fierce battle led by the Trinamool Congress, led by them, the opposition leader, Mamata Banerjee. Now, their allegations of forcible land acquisition prompted Tata Motors to make the difficult decision to abandon its ambitious Singur plant, originally intended for the production of the iconic nano car back in 2008. Now, this pivotal shift in Tata Motors' plans necessitated the relocation of their manufacturing facility for the small car Nano from Singur to Sanand in Gujarat. Now, by that point, the company had already invested a staggering sum of over rupees 1,000 crore in the Singur project. This not only caused a significant delay of approximately 5 months in the original commercial launch of the Nano, but also had far-reaching implications for its widespread availability.
उन दिनों में जिस कायदे से लेफ्ट फ्रंट गवर्नमेंट ने बलपूर्वक ये लैंड एक्विजिशन किया, पार्टी उसका खिलाफ थे। हम लोग दिल्ली चीफ मिनिस्टर बुद्धदेव भट्टाचार्य के पास जाकर ये बोले थे कि आप लोगों का ये लैंड एक्विजिशन पॉलिसी का हम लोग खिलाफ है। जो मार्केट प्राइस है उसका 3 टाइम्स प्राइस आप किसानों को दीजिए, सोलेसियम जो दे रहा है वो भी दुगनी करिए, और जो जमीन का ऊपर जो मजदूर काम कर रहा है उसका भी स्वार्थ जो है उसको भी देखना, जमीन का मालिक है उसको तो देखना ही है। लेकिन तृणमूल कांग्रेस का ये मूवमेंट और लेफ्ट फ्रंट का ये दूरदर्शी का अभाव ऐसा माहौल खड़ा कर दिया जिस जगह पे इंटरनेशनल ऑटोमोबाइल हब बन सकते थे, आज वो जगह पे शमशान का शांति लोग देख रहे हैं।
My colleague Anurag Joshi joins me over the phone lines. Anurag, good evening. As we speak about this massive development, it is a big win for the Tata Group. Just to draw things into perspective for our viewers as well, as to how this legal battle now works out for the Tata Group.
Yes, it is a big win for Tata Motors, and it's a protracted legal battle for the company because for years the matter had been under arbitration, and Tata Motors had been looking to recover the damages because of its plan to set up the nano plant first in Singur, which did not work out due to political reasons. And the company will now be entitled to receive about 766 crore rupees from the West Bengal Investment Development Corporation. And significantly, it's going to get an interest rate of 11% from September 2016 onwards. Now, the matter goes back to the left front era when the Tatas were invited to set up the nano plant in Singur. But because of political agitations and this project never took off, and the Tatas decided to take the matter to arbitration, and the matter is now settled in their favor, and West Bengal Investment Development Corporation will have to pay them 766 crore rupees.
Right, Anurag, I appreciate you joining us on the broadcast with the latest and also essentially drawing things into perspective for our viewers. But for the moment, we leave it at that. But to understand this verdict further, I'm being joined in by Pratim Ranjan Bose, senior journalist and columnist. Mr. Bose, I appreciate you taking the time out and joining us here on Mirror Now. Let me begin by asking you this. Now, the single land acquisition case has been one of the most contentious legal battles in recent Indian history. Long battle as well, but this is a massive win for the Tata Group. What do you really make of this verdict?
Oh, first of all, you see, if I look at the simple interest as at 11% simple interest for 7 years, at this very moment, WBIDC owes Tatas some, roughly about 1,350 crores. This is on the cost and interest. Now, I see it extremely important for the nation because if you remember the whole saga, it all started, the so-called anti-land acquisition movement started from Kalinganagar in Odisha. And then Odisha, if you remember, Odisha recovered from that, and that very steel plant is there now of the Tatas again. And the inspiration to the entire bogie was West Bengal. Nandigram, 2007, and then this thing, Singur. So it was not, it was not an anti-land acquisition movement per se. It was a completely taken over in the initial days. The whole ground was created by extra legal forces, and then the urban Naxal, so to speak, quote unquote, took over, and then the politics came in and it happened. So what happened was it became a template to the nation. Now, with this verdict, I believe a serious amendment has been made that in future, states will be extremely careful in terms of, in protecting investments. This was, mind you, if you look at the time, 2006, it was announced. 2004 to 2006, Tata's tried very hard with a multi-billion-dollar investment deal in Bangladesh. It didn't go through. Then they came to West Bengal, and the biggest draw for this project was for the state, they brought in the whole ecosystem of manufacturing, and apart from domestic sales, it could have given them a huge export opportunity in Bangladesh, because by 2010, Bangladesh, India-Bangladesh import duties and etc. were rationalized. So there was a huge opportunity for the nation. Everything was spoiled. Insofar as West Bengal is concerned, I have no hesitation to say that the Jyoti Basu government of left made it an industrial graveyard. Last ditch effort to bring it on the rails was made by Buddhadev Bhattacharya. And it was completely destroyed. The attempt was failed by us, I must say. And industrially, today, West Bengal is practically going to be tomorrow's Bihar. If you look at the surroundings, Odisha is moving at very high speed. Sikkim, after Gujarat, Sikkim has maximum contribution to industry in GSDP, and this has happened in only last 20 years. Even Jharkhand has a greater share of, in terms of electricity consumption for industry, Jharkhand has a greater share. So Bengal fought to be poor and remained poor, and a good share of this whole story should go to Ms. Banerjee, because she rejected all compromise offers at the end. Buddhadev Bhattacharya government at the end, as I saw, so they made the last ditch effort to compromise. Tata's offered something around little less than 200 acres or 150 acres. They wanted to give it back, and the compensation amount was increased. Everything was tried. But by that time, it was done, whatever was done was completely for politics. And it was an unfortunate story where a completely ready plant, which was due to be opened in another month or two, had to go out of the state. It is not a plant, it is a loss of a whole economic
Mr.
opportunity.
Bose, although you're reading into the judgment and essentially giving us background of this, because we also do understand, I'd have to interject you there, apologies for it, but the fact that you did cover this extremely closely as well, just to draw things into perspective for our viewers as well, the land issue, when the controversy did rock the state, was high on investors' agenda as well?
Sorry, come again, please.
The fact that when the controversy did hit the state, it was high on investors' agenda at that point of time?
Definitely. I am telling you, a small MNC investment of 50 crores in consumables. They have 30% of their sales in West Bengal, but they had two plants, one in Maharashtra, one in Karnataka, and they wanted to set up a plant here. With this, I'm just giving one reference. With this one thing, it just went out. And the worst thing was done after the Supreme Court verdict came. when the Mamata Banerjee government put up a show by extracting those this empty and abundant plant remains from with earth movers and claiming that it will be an agriculture land. Go and visit. Where is agriculture? How can agriculture happen there? It cannot happen. But those visuals of extracting a ready plant, and it's like a tinder box. You are breaking it, ripping it apart. Don't you think that investors across the world in today's era of communication, everyone is aware of that? West Bengal has become untouchable to investors. Let us accept it. A serious perception problem.
All right, Mr. Bose, on that note, I want to thank you very much for taking the time out, joining us here on Nation Tonight, and also helping us better understand this, and of course, politically speaking, also what this judgment really means. For the moment, we leave it at that. Thank you very much once again.